Immortal and Martial Dual Cultivation. Chapter 7. Accidental Discovery. Shadowing. Xiao Chen controlled his consciousness to approach the Azure Dragon. His consciousness was almost stuck to the face of the Azure Dragon, making it seem incomparably clear. At this moment, the Azure Dragon suddenly opened its eyes, startling Xiao Chen. The Azure Dragon did not seem to notice him, and soon it closed both its eyes. Xiao Chen hurriedly withdrew his consciousness. The gaze of the Azure Dragon was clear, its pupils like a clear spring. Its gaze seemed to be able to draw out the souls of people and cause them to serve it. However, what was this Azure Dragon? He did not remember a dragon entering his body. Could it be a martial spirit? Had he succeeded in condensing his martial spirit? Azure Dragon martial spirit. Xiao Chen suddenly recollected a very distant memory of this body. Long ago, the Tianwu continent had 4 great sects. The Sackmasters of these 4 great sects had the bloodline of holy beasts. The disciples of their clans were born naturally with the holy beast martial spirit. Their cultivation speeds were much faster than usual. Furthermore, the holy beast martial spirit had a spiritual nature, and they were incomparable to regular martial spirits. The Azure Dragon of the East, the White Tiger of the West, the Vermilion Bird of the South, and the Black Tortoise of the North. Each of the 4 great clans represented a cardinal direction. Xiao Chen's bloodline was that of the Azure Dragon of the East. However, thousands of years ago, because of an unknown reason, the Azure Dragon Holy Beast martial spirit stopped appearing in the Xiao clan, and their rich, powerful and distinguished clan was reduced into a local clan of a small town. Xiao Chen shook his head. He couldn't be bothered to think about this stuff. He was only concerned with the fact that he had condensed his martial spirit and could now condense essence to practice martial techniques. He might not lose to Xiao Jian 7 days later. He once again sank his consciousness into his body, checking the status of the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation. Earlier, the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation was frantically circulating, like a sword tip pointing at his back. He didn't want to enter a situation where there was a possibility that he could explode again. What caused him to be pleasantly surprised was that the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation was circulating stably, and that his cultivation realm had taken a big step forward. He had firmly consolidated the first layer. He temporarily ignored the Azure Dragon martial spirit and decided to focus on the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation for now. After cultivating the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation for a night, it could cause his strength to increase exponentially. Furthermore, when he punched out with his fist, electricity would be emitted. One could easily imagine how powerful his fist would be. He remembered that in the Compendium of Cultivation, it was written, after cultivating the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation, one could condense Purple Thunder through fire. Since the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation's realm had stably consolidated at the first layer, Xiao Chen decided to give it a try. Xiao Chen got up and circulated the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation. As he did so, the eyes of the Azure Dragon in his Dantian opened, and the 3 white clouds floating around it slowly started to thin out. A pure and condensed essence flowed from its body to Xiao Chen's meridians. Xiao Chen's mind was shocked. He could feel a sudden inflow of clear and cozy essence. He carefully directed this energy to circulate within his body. Following the method in the Compendium of Cultivation, this essence headed towards his right hand and gathered there. The energy then came out from the 4 major acupoints of Tianquan, 巨骨、曲子, and 内关 together onto his middle finger. Suddenly, there was a sizzling electrical light on his finger. It continuously flickered until all the electricity gathered onto the tip of his finger. A purple flame about the size of a peanut was formed. Xiao Chen looked at the flame that was unceasingly swaying. It seemed that it would be extinguished at any time. He smiled bitterly, not to mention killing people. Even in his original world, this flame could only be used to light a cigarette. He waved his hands and extinguished the flame. Xiao Chen was not dispirited. The fact that he could succeed in condensing the flame on his first attempt was a great consolation. Only, he did not notice that when he was extinguishing the flame, a small spark wasn't completely extinguished, and it fell to the ground. Once it touched the ground, it caused the surrounding dead branches and fallen leaves within half a meter to burn. The flames then died in a flash. If not for a pile of ashes left behind, and the heat that he felt on the face, he would not have believed that there was a fire here earlier. He was stupefied and just stood there blankly. After a while, Xiao Chen started to laugh wildly in joy. This flame was simply too strong. Just a small spark had such a powerful might. After training for a period of time, it would become even more destructive. Xiao Chen did not detest practicing the summoning of the Purple Thunder through fire. After a few hours of practice, he could summon the Purple Thunder through fire with just a thought. A shadow on a big tree flashed by above Xiao Chen's head and shot off into the distance. Stopping what he was doing, Xiao Chen raised his head to take a look. That person was dressed in blue, and he leapt from tree to tree. In the blink of an eye, he left Xiao Chen's field of vision. This was not true flight. It was simply the momentum of hopping from tree to tree, an excellent movement technique to create a false impression that one was flying. Even so, the cultivation of this person was at the very least in the martial saint realm. Since when did Mohe City had a martial saint in blue robes? What purpose did he have in coming to the Seven-Horn Mountain of the Xiao clan? Xiao Chen felt somewhat suspicious. Taking note of the direction that the person headed to, Xiao Chen hesitated for a while before he decided to chase him to take a look. An expert of the martial saint realm wouldn't come to this Seven-Horn Mountain for no reason. He completely withdrew his energy and relied on the strength of his body to follow the direction that person in blue went to. Xiao Chen dashed frantically, even without using the essence of in the body. His body strength was so great that his speed was shocking. That person in blue moved very fast, having already disappeared without a trace. So, Xiao Chen could only move forward in a rough direction. If he was unlucky, he would never find that person again. After about 1 hour, Xiao Chen heard people chatting in low voices. He quickly stopped and listened. After determining the direction of their voices, he proceeded forward once more. The voices were getting clearer and clearer. Xiao Chen jumped onto a big tree and finally saw the person speaking. About 300 meters in an area in front of him, there was a group of people speaking in harsh voices with that person in blue. Strange. Why is it people from the Zhang clan? This group of people spoke with the person in blue. They wore clothing that were embroidered with a certain pattern, the symbol of the Zhang clan. They were the strongest local power after the Xiao clan, and there were 3 clouds embroidered on the chest of their brown coats. Huff! Suddenly, there was a sound of panting behind him. Xiao Chan was startled and immediately circulated the Purple Thunder Divine Incantation. He gathered the Purple Thunder True Fire in his right hand, ready to take action.